Hi, my name is Lolita Nikolova and today we will talk about artifact in archaeology. Artifact is the most important record in archaeology. Artifacts help us to study chronology of the different regions in the world, to discover similarity in the cultures, to discover differences in the cultures, to find contact which we may never even presumed in past, to analyze directions of interactions, innovations, traditions, and etc. There is a new publication of Vinci amulets by Ivana Pantovic, which is available at Academia Edu. It comes from the Balkans, one of the richest in prehistory regions, and it is a very nice publication since it follows the best of the Balkan historiography in a moment in which less and less material comes as new record from this region, which is very important to study many problems of Eurasia and of global archaeology. The amulets which Ivana Pantovic publishes are important since they are given with their stratigraphic context, with description, with typology, exactly in the way in which usually archaeologists likes to see the records to be able to work with them. We may have one or two excavations in our life, but we work with many publications. Then there is a kind of consensus when archaeologist publishes a new material to think that this material will be like most important mean for his colleagues to study their own problems. It is kind of the wealth which the archaeologist communicates to the other archaeologists to create this community of researchers which in many cases make really very important discoveries. Today we will talk about two contexts of archaeological artifact. One is the context of the site and the other one is of the museum. The artifact from the site, from the archaeological site during the excavation requires to be documented with stratigraphic data as well as to be analyzed the context in which it was discovered, whether it was a floor, pit, hearth, or another feature, or there could be no any features. Chronological parameters include depth as well as coordinates of the artifact, since in some cases we may have problems of vertical stratigraphy as well as of the horizontal stratigraphy. Then having precise evidence for the stratigraphic position of the artifacts on the archaeological site is one of the most important indicators that we will be able, one small artifact, to publish as an important, valuable record for analysis and interpretation. When one object is in a museum, first of all we need to learn whether we would know the origin of the artifact, whether we will be able to connect the artifact with a certain site. In some cases it is possible to have material which is similar to artifact which we've been studying and to believe that it belongs to the site with this based on this similarity. Let me name this site A. However, we cannot exclude the opportunity that there is another site B which is close to this site or elsewhere, which is also with the similar material, and the object, the artifact, actually originates from another site. Then it is very risky to attribute an artifact which is with unclear origin based on similarity to a site which is just close to the museum or in the area which have been studied in past and where was found similar material. The second problem with the artifacts in the museum is the chronology. Many of the archaeological artifacts cannot be dated very precisely if we don't know their context. For this reason, the artifacts from the museums very often cannot be a primary record, and the archaeological excavations still provide most important artifacts and evidence for chronology and for study of the regional characteristics based on the very detailed, precise analysis of the stratigraphy and the context of the artifacts. In terms of scientific significance, pottery is the primary record in prehistory. However, with discovering of the metal production, the role of the metal artifacts for chronology in the archaeological research gradually becomes bigger and bigger. In contemporary archaeology, it is very difficult in many cases precisely to date specific artifacts. And this is a problem of theory of the contemporary archaeology, whether there will be adopted methods of prehistory, of historical archaeology, and what would be the span which would be accepted as reasonable to date a specific artifact from contemporary past, 5, 10, 20 years. In prehistory today, it's possible to date artifacts within a span of 20 years. In contemporary archaeology, probably this span will be again reasonable, since many artifacts actually is very difficult to date based on specific criterion. Then probably 20 years is one span which is scientific for artifacts from the contemporary past. This is for now. Thank you.